Well, we went from 72 degrees to 52 degrees. That's a 20-degree temperature drop from one day to the next. And tomorrow we're supposed to go from 52 to 32. So our fall is finally ending and the leaves are coming down rapidly, but we still have quite a bit of color and we're enjoying it. Hope that you're enjoying the coolness that I think is sweeping across the whole southeast. I certainly always enjoy the cool weather. We're in the Chronological Bible. In this case, we're looking at my study Bible for chronology, and we're in event 12 out of 55 events that were called Jesus' Galilean ministry. And we're coming across one of the 6 events recorded in the Gospel of John, and here it's recorded only in the Gospel of John. So out of 55 events, John only recorded 6 of Jesus' Galilean ministry. And other Gospels had to cover those events. And this is one of those 6. And because it's a lengthy passage of Scripture, that is, we have it in AD 28. We've just come into AD 28, and we're in chapter 5 of John, verses 1 through 47. And since it's such a long event and really covers several different issues, I'm going to break it down into at least 3. So again, we're in John chapter 5, but we're not going to go all the way to verse 47 because there's so many different issues here. We're going to look, first of all, at the fact that he has gone from Galilee down to Jerusalem. Now, he's gone as he is obedient to the traditions and to the commands of the Old Testament. This is the time of the Feast of the Jews, and Jesus has gone down as he does every year, whether it was with his parents or whether it was himself, so that he would be a part of those festivals and feasts. And we see that there's a multitude of people that are there at the Sheep's Gate by the pool of Bethesda. And there we find a sick man, and we're later told that he's lame because he can't walk to get himself into the pool of Bethesda, where there has been an interesting occurrence from season to season, where the first person that comes into the pool is healed from whatever sickness that they have. An angel comes from heaven, stirs the water. Whoever's first in is healed completely, and evidently nobody else. So this man, we're told in this passage of Scripture, has been lame or crippled for 38 years. And we find that he has been waiting by the pool more than once, because he said every time that the water is stirred, because he can't walk, someone else steps into the pool ahead of him and is healed instead of him. Jesus looks at him and doesn't say, get into the water. He says, arise, take up your pallet and walk. And I got to tell you, if I sit in my easy chair for more than 15 or 20 minutes, I will have a hard time getting out of the chair, and certainly a difficult time walking right away. So you can imagine, if he's been lame for 38 years, what an incredible miracle this is when Jesus tells him to take up his pallet and walk. And he does. But the Jews watching say it's wrong for him to do this, to carry his pallet on the Sabbath, and want to know who did this, and he doesn't know because Jesus has disappeared into the crowd and is unable to tell them who it was that healed him. And we find in verse 8 that he is healed and walks. We find in verses 10 through 13 the Jews are complaining because he's carrying his pallet on the Sabbath. How legal can you get? And Jesus is gone. Well, let me just deal with that so far. Let me tell you that Jesus can heal anything, anywhere, anytime. And I believe that with all of my heart. If he can raise the dead, he can certainly heal anyone, anytime, any place. But that's not the greatest miracle. The greatest miracle is the forgiveness of sins. While we were yet helpless, Christ died for us. Second thing that I want to point out is that there's a lot of legalism even today in the churches. And we want to be careful that we don't take traditions, or we don't take things that are not what Jesus has commanded in the Scriptures and make them mandatory things. To carry a pallet on the Sabbath after you've been healed certainly was not something that anybody had commanded against. The Jews had embellished the rules of the Sabbath to a place where it was no longer what Jesus and what the scripture writers had intended. And then finally we find in verses 14 and 15 that Jesus found the man. He found him in the temple, which is a good thing, which indicate to us that he was so grateful that he went to temple, and that there Jesus revealed himself to him. And Jesus said something very interesting. Jesus said to him, "Do not sin anymore, lest something worse befall you." Now, that kind of hints at the fact that maybe this man had done something that was sinful that had caused his lameness. That's divine speculation, I grant you. Nevertheless, Jesus reminds him that we're to live righteous, separated lives, lest we might have worse calamities in our lives. So I'm not preaching a doctrine of saying that if you do wrong, God's going to punish you with some kind of ailment, nor am I saying that he will immune you from suffering the consequences of your sin. A person who overdrinks, overindulges in drugs, and then drives their car carelessly and hits a tree certainly brought about their injuries through their sinfulness. But not everyone that gets sick has been sinful to get sick. So please don't hear that I'm preaching a sickness for sin, or nor am I practicing a healing for righteousness. Jesus saw this man and had compassion and told him to take up his pallet and walk. So please keep your doctrine straight. Don't claim for Jesus anything he didn't claim for himself, nor do you have the right to embellish Scripture or to speculate because of one event that means that is the theology that's correct. We certainly would be wrong to think that everybody that is ill or has some kind of an ailment is because they have sinned and that caused the ailment. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.